Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you gleam.
Great flights, and you really enjoy it.
Our Welsh dragon arrives in Switzerland for the final part of his Pinocchio journey. It's great for him to meet up with old friends from around Europe who've been working together, taking inspiration from the story of a famous wooden puppet boy.
Obviously Anna and Klaas got support from many other people here, and so I thank everybody.
Realize it's really emotional atmosphere that we have today. This is a dream that came true, and I hope that this dream will continue.
From Wales.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pretty memorable enjoyment.
Wonderful.
The story of Pinocchio may have been written for children, but over 3 previous exchange visits we have already discovered that, like so many other tales, it's full of deeper meanings.
Cioè noi siamo in grado di essere felici solo se accettiamo le difficoltà della vita, solo se le affrontiamo, solo se siamo capaci di soffrire.
So the meaning of the story, of the fairy tale, is that in the end we are able to live happily ever after.
Però ha questa capacità, è artigiano.
To better understand the story, we have to look into myths and fairy tales.
But please try even to make another effort to relate to our...
Well, what we learned about transgression this morning is that you have to understand what people are saying about people growing up, behaviours, and above all, Pinocchio is one of those people that had a variety of problems when he was brought up. He wasn't no angel, but as you can see, he's grown up to be a lovely young boy.
Transgression, that's the word. It's a challenge. But as in the case of Pinocchio, we've learned this afternoon that Pinocchio changed and other people can.
We come to Switzerland, which is interesting. It's a very multicultural country, and somehow people manage to find a way of all living together, working together and cooperating with each other, even though they come from very different cultural backgrounds. That's what I've seen, a little microcosm of a multicultural state here in Switzerland.
Vedi mettere i colori, invece il lago è già nel rullo.
I never make artists, Anna.
No, così.
From the start, this project aimed to use all kinds of art forms. Here, with Caterina from Florence, we discover our hidden artistic talents.
Capito? Spinge la vendita in non si sa come. È l'idea di libertà. Bravo. Firmate, sì. Grazie a te.
Beautiful views, nice food, cheese, grapes, engaging with cats.
I think this morning was really enlightening to have discussion about the symbolism of the story of Pinocchio. So it's something that goes inside, that goes deeper inside, that can be useful for everybody. And so this is the initial Swiss contribution to the project.
We had a fantastic day at the castle. We had a talk from a gentleman from Switzerland about the analysis of Pinocchio's story, which was really interesting, and an amazing flash art workshop with Catalina.
I learned about different views of Pinocchio's book and about flash art with Ekaterina Balletti. I really enjoyed that. Very interesting.
He says he's looking forward to the boat trip today and experience the food later on.
We're off to our next location at Interlaken. Our hosts have found the best way to get there, so that we really appreciate this small country. So this film today is one of 4 that we're making, one for each of the projects visits that we're doing, and we thought it just an interesting way that we could perhaps capture some of the comments from the people, a little bit of the scenery, but also a little bit of the evidence that we need to show to our funders.
These are flowers that grow in the middle of the snow, and they grow over 2,000 meters. That's the only flower that goes so high. And so that's a sort of a symbolic flower for the Alps.
And what's it called?
Edelweiss.
Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, pure and light, clean and right.
Well, Interlaken is a place, we are now in central Switzerland, and it's a very famous place because of the mountains around here. That's a place where from the last century, beginning of the last century, all famous mountain climbers came because they, in the portfolio of each great mountain climber, there has to be the Eiger, which is one of the most difficult and special mountains to climb. You know.
Although we come to such stunning, amazing places like Interlaken, but I think the main idea is meeting other people and communicating with other people.
And to know each other and to make a friendship.
Then strange things happen, and like in the 60s, Indian movie directors used to shoot movies here, Indian Bollywood movies. So what happened, from the 70s on, a lot of Indian tourists came. So there is a whole fashion of, which I think is pretty kitsch, of Indians in Swiss chalets and shooting Bollywood movies, and Indian ladies and guys dancing with Indian music. If you go on the Jungfrau, you will feel something special you remember all your life. Because it's considered for mountain-loving people, it's considered a sacred place. It's like to go in a temple.
By the end of the visit, we have found our voice. One of our hosts uses the art form of music to really bring out the best in us.
Tonight is a celebration. And you're all welcome to
For us, from Florence, the last night, and so for us it will be very important to be all together tonight. Grazie di cuore.
At our final meeting, we have a chance to reflect and celebrate.
I've learnt just to engage with much more people than I can imagine.
I'm now a massive fan of Pinocchio and feel I can actually relate to him very well.
Somebody told me every day's a school day, and I've learnt something every day I've been here.
I learned that it's no shame to learn even if you are older, and it's just experience every day.
I must be honest, it is a time when you learn so much.
It's always sad to say goodbye, but this little wooden puppet has brought us all together to learn from each other. We look forward to meeting him again.
He's had a good time and he's been honoured and privileged to have come away for a few days to learn the multicultural way of life. Diolch yn fawr iawn am bopeth. Rydw i wedi mwynhau'n unan yn Switzerland.